Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Guys, please confirm to me. All of you are getting my voice on screen. Those are attending in online. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. Guys, and link is going to be changed by Monday. Monday onwards, new link is going to be happen. So those who are not yet registered, try to register for the course. Monday onwards, private link will come. Demo link will be expired. And Monday onwards, new link will come. Please, those who are not yet registered, please register for the course immediately. Okay. All right, guys. Hello. Okay. All right. Good morning, guys. All right, sir. And check it what we completed there in the last session. So I think so. We are discussing about the differences between Java and other programming languages. Here we are discussing in that differences between Java and other programming languages. Almost all 3 to 4 differences here we are discussing. We completed. What are the 3 to 4 differences here we completed there? Right. The very first one is, tell me what is the first one here? No. C and C++ are static programming languages, but Java is what? A dynamic programming language. Next one, after that, preprocessor is required in C and C++, but preprocessor is not required in Java. Next one is after this, after completion of this, C and C++ are platform dependent programming languages, but Java is what their platform independent programming language. After that, I give in one more point. Pointers related point already we discussed there. Pointers are existed in C and C++, but pointers are not existed in Java. So overall, these are the differences here we are understanding. Now we are at the pointers topic. All right, pointers are required in C and C++, but pointers are not required in Java. All right, sir. I'm asking one question to all of you. Now try to answer for it. So I'm giving this document to all of you, right, every day. And I think for all of you might be videos you are getting, right? All of you are reading the document every day, or is a waste of time I'm preparing the document inside the class. Think of it. So if it is not useful for you, I may not take much risk while preparing this document. Directly I can explain the content, I'll move forward. I thought of it, this document is much useful. So anyway, then what I'm telling to you, try to read the document. Why I'm giving this document through online to everybody, not only at your home. Say for example, whenever we are in traveling, just if you are getting boring, just open it and try to read the content. That's very simple. In our mobile phones also, we can open it. We can watch the content. So whenever we are having some leisure time, open it and try to read the content. At least see the content. At a starting point of time, it's only theoretical concepts. Easily we can read out them. We are able to remember the content now. Once the programming is started, then every day we have to do some work on our systems. So that we can do at our hostels or maybe at our home. But these theoretical concepts, remembering concepts, we have to do clearly. Right. Anyway, I think so might be all of you are following the content. So don't waste your resources here. Then try to utilize the resources effectively. Next one is after this. Come for the content here. Pointer is a variable. It is able to store address locations of the data structures, where the data structures may be a variable, an array, or a struct, or another pointer variable. In a C and C++ applications, pointers are recognized and initialized at the time of compilation only. Then immediately we have a question. What was that question here? Why pointer variables exist in C and C++ and why pointer variables do not exist in Java? Their answer is very clear. I given some of the answers there. Pointer variables required static memory allocation, but Java is following dynamic memory allocation. Pointer variables are supported by the static programming languages, but Java is a dynamic programming language. Pointer variables are very much suitable in platform dependent programming languages, but Java is a platform independent programming language. Pointers is a confusion oriented feature. It will increase confusion to the developers. But Java is a simple programming language. It must not provide confusion to the developers. That's it. Now, these are the points here we have to recognize why pointers are not suitable in the case of Java and why they are suitable in C and C++. After that, then immediately we have a question. Even yesterday I given some diagram also. What was the diagram here? Just we can understand some type of coding part. Little bit code here I provided. What is that code now? Int A is equal to 50, int star P is equal to ampersand A. The other three things here we provided. Now here P is referring to like what is this no a block where 50 is a data. That means first of all when a compiler executes this one, when a compiler compiles this in a section into A is equal to 10 into A is equal to 10, then immediately what compiler will do no, compiler will create 2 bytes of memory for A on the base of the integer. Its address location is 1010 and its data is what 50. 50 value will be stored in the memory allocation, memory location. 1010 is the address location for it. Int star P, then star P is what their pointer variable. It will have some memory allocation. How much memory is required to store address value, that much of memory will be allocated for pointer variable. When we encounter P is equal to ampersand A, address of A will be calculated. That is what there 1010. That value will be assigned to P. That means that value will be assigned to P, A 1010. Literally P is referring a block of memory which has the data. P is referring a block of memory, it has data. Right, so now this is the meaning of like what their pointer variable. All right. If we give this type of information to that interviewer, now interviewer will ask one more question to you. Now interviewer is going to ask one more question to you. What is that question that interviewer can ask now, may ask now, understand it clearly. If we take Java is a programming language. If we take Java is a programming language, where if we take a class, in a Java programming language, if we take a class, say for example, I want to take class A, something else, whatever it may be, class A. Yes, some few members here we have taken inside the class. Inside the classes, we are going to take what their variables and methods. Class, some few members here we have taken. After this, when we create an object for the class, A small a is equal to new a constructor. This is the object creation process for class K. Here we are creating object for what their class K. A small a is equal to new a constructor that we have taken. Right, sir. Then after this, when we execute this in a section, what will happen? When we execute this in a section, what will happen? First of all, an object will be created. This is an object. All of you observe carefully. Object will be created. That object is referred by a variable. That variable is a variable. Okay, object is referred by a variable, a variable. Okay, so a variable is referring an object. Object is nothing but what their memory block. This is an object. Okay, now this is nothing but what there a memory block, a block of memory. All right, sir. Memory block. That's it. Not more than this. This is called as an object. That is referred by a variable. Okay. Interviewer will give this entire information, the total information. Now what interviewer will ask the question now? In C and C++, a variable is referring a block of memory. So that variable is a pointer variable. Similarly, in the case of Java also, a variable is referring a block of memory. So why don't we call this variable is a pointer variable? But how can you say pointer variables are not available in Java? That would be the question that interviewer will ask now. Come again, what exactly the question here we are able to get from interviewer now? In a C and a C++, a variable is referring a block of memory. So this variable is a pointer variable. Similarly, in Java, when we create an object, where object is nothing but a block of memory, that block of memory is referred by a variable A. So why we are not going to call this variable as a pointer variable? How can we say pointers are not existed in a Java? This is a question here we are able to get. Now I'm giving clarity, try to understand it now. In a C and a C++, that P variable is what there, what variable? No, pointer variable. But in Java, this A variable is available. This is what their reference variable. So for the interviewer question, if we want to give answer, first we have to understand how pointer variable is created, what it is storing, how reference variable is creating, and how it is, what it is storing. That information if we explain, then there we can identify the difference between pointer variable and reference variable. We already aware how pointer variables are created, what pointer variables are able to store. Already we are aware about the data. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? How pointer variables are created, how what pointer variables are able to store. Already we are aware about the data. But we don't know. As of now, we are not aware about it. How reference variable is created in Java, how what reference variable is able to store, that we are not aware. So if I explain how reference variable is created, what reference variable is able to store, if I explain this content there we can differentiate easily what is exactly pointer variable, what exactly the reference variable. So now immediately our job is what? Understanding the reference variable. Understanding what their reference variable is our actual job. Now understand it clearly, all of you know. I want to explain how reference variable is created. What is going to be happen inside the Java when we create an object. Some internal concept I want to explain. Now try to put more concentration. Right, sir? All of you ready now? All of you ready? Right, please, I'm requesting to all of you, some of you are still doing some WhatsApp chatting in our mobile phones. Please stop this. Then try to put concentration. Just 1 hour 15 minutes of time. Put concentration here. After that, you can go for charting or you can go for something else. I don't mind. But first, put concentration inside the class. You are inside the class. You are sitting in front of me, right? Everybody. Right, sir. All of you are okay? Can I explain now? No response. Right, come for it. For example, in the case of Java, same class here I'm going to take class A. Some members are available. I don't mind. What are the members here we have taken? That is not at all required for us. Just we have taken class K. Listen carefully. Now I want to create an object. To create an object, what we have to do? A small a is equal to new a. That's very clear. Now this is an intersection to create an object. All of you observe carefully. Who is going to execute this intersection? Object creation statement is executed by whom? Who is going to execute this intersection? Who will execute Java programs? This is Java code only. The Java code must be executed by whom? JVM. JVM will execute our Java code. Now this is JVM. This is JVM. Listen carefully. In Java, we are able to use or we are using a specialized memory when compared with other programming languages. That a specialized memory is heap memory. What is that memory? Heap memory. Understand it now. So this is heap memory. This is totally heap memory. This entire heap memory is managed by a separate person, a separate manager. That manager is heap manager. This entire heap memory is managed by a person. A separate manager was assigned to control this total heap memory. Now this person is heap manager. What is the job of the heap manager, or what is the job of the manager in any organization? Say for example, manager responsibility is what there? Just monitoring the activities. Am I right or not? Monitoring the activities. That is the job of the manager. The manager will not do any hard work. Manager will not come down and will not do any work. Just he will call the people to work and he will manage the things. Am I right or not? So anyway, here heap manager is available. All right, fine. Then what is going to be happen here? Observe carefully. When JVM executes this particular intersection, object creation statement, when it encounter this particular statement, a small a is equal to new a constructor. This is called as what their constructor. This is what their new keyword. Listen, all of you know. New keyword has the functionality of creating object. In this entire statement, a small a is equal to new a constructor. In this entire statement, which is statement has the functionality of creating object? No, new keyword. That new keyword has the internal functionality of creating object. When JVM executes this new keyword, automatically JVM is giving a request, is sending a request to the heap manager about to create an object for the sake of class K. Yes, all of you are getting clarity. JVM is sending a request to the heap manager about to create an object for a class K. Okay, then immediately what heap manager is doing there? Heap manager will search for the required block of the memory. Of course, JVM might be aware how much memory is required to create an object. JVM might be submitted that memory sizes information to the heap manager part of the request. Then JVM responsibility is what? Identifying the requirement of creating object, identifying the memory size for the object, and JVM will send that request to the heap manager with the memory sizes. Now, heap manager will search for the required block of memory as a single unit. If any block of memory is available, if any required block of memory is available, then immediately what happens, then heap manager will create that block of memory. Heap manager will assign that block of memory for JVM requirement. Now the block of memory, what it is assigned for this particular application requirement, now this block of memory is called as an object. That block of memory is called as what there? An object. So finally, object is created. Yes, all of you are getting clarity up to now. All of you are okay up to now. Nothing I have discussed here. Points are very simple. So when JVM executes that a small a is equal to new a constructor, when JVM executes new keyword, JVM is identifying the memory size. JVM is sending a request to the heap manager about to create an object. As per that request, heap manager will create a block of memory as per the JVM requirement. That block of memory, what heap manager has created for JVM requirement, is called an object. Clear? Simple point. Say for example, 200 members are sitting in front of me now. We are the 200 members, you are sitting in front of me. I want to call each and every person individually. I want to call the persons individually. Say for example, I want to invite you for some occasion. So I need to call each and every person. If I want to access each and every person individually, I need your identity or not? I need your identity or not? In general, what is that identity for each and every person? Exactly. Name is the identity for each and every person. Am I right or not? Name is an identity for each and every person. That is a general identity. Of course, Aadhaar number or maybe bank account number, it's a good different story. I'm not talking about it. So immediate that available identity of you with me is what there? Your name. Understand my point now? So if these many members are available, if I want to access these many members now, then definitely I require your identity. In general, your identity is a name. With your name only, I can access the members clearly, separately. Yes, sir? Similarly, in Java applications, how many objects we are going to create? Do you have any limitation for the number of objects in Java applications? As per the requirement, we can create any number of objects in heap memory. As per the requirement, we can create any number of objects in heap memory. Whenever we are creating multiple objects in heap memory, then we need to recognize each and every object individually or not. There we have to recognize each and every object individually or not. It means that I need object's identity to access that objects or not. Say for example, if I want to store some data in the object, or if I want to get some data from the object, I need to access that object or not? To access that object, I need some identity for that object or not? Right, exactly. Whenever object is created by the heap manager, immediately heap manager is responsible for providing one identity for that object. When object is created in heap memory, heap manager must provide an identifier, must provide an identity for that object. That is the responsibility of the heap manager. Why? Because it is creating an object for the respective class. Right, now for each and every object, when the objects are created for each and every object, heap manager will provide an unique identity for each and every object when the objects are created. Heap manager will provide an unique identity for each and every object when they are created. That unique identity is provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value, a random integer value. Now, this integer value is called as hash code of the object. Hash code is an identity for each and every object provided by the heap manager in object creation process. That's clear? Up to now, all of you know. Integer value is created or not? What is that integer value? No. Hash code of the object. What is that hash code actually? Is an unique identity. Is an unique identity provided by heap manager. Provided by heap manager. Okay, fine. Identity is created memory level. Then immediately, what this heap manager will do now? Immediately, heap manager has taken that identity value. Heap manager has taken like what there? That hash code value. Say for example 1 2 3 4 5, the dashboard value was taken by this heap manager. Heap manager will send that hash code value to JVM. Heap manager has submitted the hash code value to JVM. Say for example 1 2 3 4 5. What JVM is doing now? JVM is converting this hash code value into its a hexadecimal form. JVM is converting its hash code value into its a hexadecimal form. Say for example, that hexadecimal form is what there? AB56. Now that is converted by JVM from hash code value to hexadecimal form. When heap manager has provided some identity for an object in the form of an integer value, that is hash code, heap manager will take that hash code, heap manager will send the hash code to the JVM. Now JVM is converting the hash code value to its hexadecimal form. Remember carefully the hexadecimal form of a hash code. Come on, the hexadecimal form of hash code is called as reference value. Hexadecimal form of hash code is called as what there? A reference value of an object. When a reference value is created by JVM, immediately JVM will assign that reference value to a variable. Immediately JVM will assign this reference value to a variable. Now its value is like what there? AB56 for example. Now a variable which stores object reference value. Now the variable which stores object reference value is called as a reference variable. The variable which stores object reference value is called as what there? Reference variable. Tell me, sir, what is reference variable? Come on, as you understood this total process, what is reference variable? A reference variable is a variable which stores object reference value. What is object reference value? Hexadecimal form of hash code. What is this hash code? Hash code is an unique identity for each and every object provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Hash code is an unique identity for each and every object provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. That integer value is called as what there? Hash code. Clear or not? Hash code is created. Hash code is given to the JVM. JVM is converting the hash code into its hexadecimal form. That hexadecimal form of the hash code is called as reference value. That reference value is assigned to a variable. That variable is called what? A reference variable. Clear? Points are very much clear. Now try to understand it now. Here, same. This A variable referring this one. Here also I am telling that this A variable is referring this one. Almost all I am telling to you, here this is a variable. For example, this variable is referring this block of memory. This variable is referring this particular block of memory. How this variable is able to refer this block of memory? By storing its reference value. By storing what reference value? No, AB56 is a reference value. That's okay, sir. Now it is completed. How reference variable is created in Java? That point here we completed. Now compare pointer variable in C, reference variable in Java. Now here, what value is available here? AB56. This is what their reference value. But here 1010 is available for P variable. That is what their address location of the data. Now let's compare these two now. Pointer is a variable. It is able to refer a block of memory by storing its address location. Pointer is a variable which refers a block of memory by storing its address location. In Java, reference variable is a variable which refers an object, a block of memory. Object is nothing but what? A block of memory. By storing object's reference value. By storing what? Object's reference value. The reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is an unique identity provided by heap manager in the form of an integer value. It is not at all any address location. Hash code is not address location. Or reference value is not address location. And the reference variable is not storing any address location. Is it? All of you get my point or not? Now tell me, what are the points here? Hash code. That means hash code is not any address location. A reference value is not any address location. And the reference variable is not storing any address location. But still it is able to refer an object, a block of memory. So the way to refer these blocks of memories are different in between pointer and reference variable or not. The way to refer the objects, the way to refer the block of memories is different from pointer variable to reference variable or not. Pointer variable is able to refer a block of memory by storing address location. Reference variable is able to refer a block of memory by storing object reference value. So there is no chance of using address locations in the case of Java. There is no chance of using address locations in the case of what there? Java. That's it. Now this is the total scenario here. We have to understand clearly. Is it clear? All of you are getting clarity now? Now shall we move on to this diagram here I'm going to provide anyway as per our requirement. Alright, sir. Now here. Shall we move on to the question here? Question and answer here now. What are the differences between pointer variables and reference variables? Now tell me, you only tell me what would be the first difference here? Pointer variables exist in C and C++. Nice. Then what next one again? No? Reference variables exist in Java. In Java. Good. Point number 2. What about this point number 2? No. Pointer variables are able to refer a block of memory by storing its address location. That's nice. Now, what about this reference variable here? Right, reference variable is able to refer a block of memory, is able to refer to a block of memory by storing objects reference value. Now I'm giving clarity there, object reference value. Then I'm giving clarity where, right, sir, where objects reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code. Right, sir. Now next one, where the hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value, in the form of what there? An integer value. Right, so now this is the point here we have to understand clearly. All right, fine. Here we need to identify the content. So reference variable is able to refer to is able to refer to a block of memory by storing address locations, by storing object's reference value, where object reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where the hash code is an unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Right, so now this is the second point here. Next, observe carefully. Third point here, pointer variables are very much suitable in static programming languages. Static programming languages. Static programming languages. But whereas reference variables are very much suitable in which programming languages? No, dynamic programming languages. Dynamic programming languages. All right, sir. One more point here we can understand. Pointer variables are not suitable in platform independent programming languages, but reference variables are suitable in platform independent programming language. Already we understood that points here. Now to think about this one. Now these are the three differences here we can understand clearly. Now let's move on to the point here. Observe carefully. Pointer variables exist in C and C++. Reference variables exist in Java. Pointer variables are able to refer to a block of memory by storing its address location. A reference variable is able to refer to a block of memory by storing object's reference value, where object's reference value is the hexadecimal form of hash code, where hash code is a unique identity provided by the heap manager in the form of an integer value. Pointer variables are very much suitable in static programming languages, whereas reference variables are very much suitable in dynamic programming languages. Right? Then immediately like given the diagram here, what about this pointer variable and how about reference variable and how reference variables are created in Java? All the points here are given clearly. No need to go for any document for this one. Just by seeing the diagram, easily we can understand what is going to be happen. How reference variable is created in Java. Clear? All of you are getting clarity on this? Pointers and reference variables. Almost all fourth difference also be here. We completed. Clear? Can I move forward? Can I go for the next one? Right, sir. Now see this one. All of you observe carefully. Now here, fifth one, multiple inheritance does not exist in Java. Multiple inheritance does not exist in Java, is not existed in Java, is not available in Java. But before going to understand whether multiple inheritance is existed or not existed in Java or in C++ or in Python, whatever it may be. But first of all, what is multiple inheritance? Understand what is multiple inheritance. After that, we are going to understand why multiple inheritance is not existed in Java and why it is possible in the case of Python and C++. Even Python related point also we'll talk now. Why it is available in the case of Python, in the case of C++. Okay, now we are going to understand the content clearly. Observe point now. Observe this point now. First of all, now I'm asking one question to you. Try to answer for it. Object-oriented programming languages are available. And outside, some programming languages are what? Object-oriented programming languages. Java is an object-oriented programming language. C++ is an object-oriented programming language. Python is also an object-oriented programming language. .NET is also be C#.NET is also an object-oriented programming language. So many object-oriented programming languages are available. But before all these things, my question is, I have a programming language. When I can say this programming language is an object-oriented programming language. When it is possible for me to say this programming language as an object-oriented programming language. If we come for this point, I'm going to give one answer. Now try to understand this clearly now. Observe carefully, all of you know. If any programming language representing data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features, then that programming language is an object-oriented programming language. is an object-oriented programming language. Tell me, sir, what exactly the definition here I'm giving there? If any programming language represents data in the form of objects by following what features there? Object-oriented features. Then that programming language is an object-oriented programming language. Clear? All of you are clear up to this definition? No? What is the meaning of object-oriented programming language? So many examples are available, not required here. Understand it clearly now. Okay, fine. What are the various object-oriented features are available? Data is represented in the form of objects by following object-oriented features. By following what features there? No, object-oriented features. What are the various object-oriented features here we are having now? In general, there are seven number of object-oriented features. What are the seven number of object-oriented features? All right, sir. Now observe carefully. First one is class. First one is what there? A class. Next one is an object. Next one is encapsulation. Next one is an abstraction. Next one is inheritance. Next one is what there? Polymorphism. And next one is message passing. But in general, this message passing people are not recognized there. But actually, is one of the object-oriented feature. Simply speaking, associations has a relationship. Okay, right, sir. Now see this one. Overall, these are the seven number of object-oriented features here we are having. Out of the seven number of object-oriented features, no, the most powerful object-oriented features are the four. Four features are the most powerful object-oriented features. What features are the most powerful object-oriented features? No, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and polymorphism. Yes, sir. All of you are getting it or not? Encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism. These are the most powerful object-oriented features. If you want to say any programming language is an object-oriented programming language, that programming language must satisfy these four object-oriented features. Right, sir? Then these four object-oriented features must be satisfied. Then only that programming language is what there? An object-oriented programming language. Out of all these object-oriented features, out of all the important object-oriented features, now I require to discuss. I need to understand about what their inheritance. Why? Because my point is like what there. What is my point? No, multiple inheritance does not exist in Java. So now here, if you want to know multiple inheritance, first we have to understand inheritance. First we have to understand what their inheritance. See this one. First here we have to understand like what their inheritance content here. Inheritance. All right, sir. What exactly the meaning of inheritance? See this. All of you understand this clearly. I'm going to give some points here. For example, entities are available in outside. Entities are in the sense classes only. What are these entities or classes? No, a group representation. And outside a group representation is a class, a classification. A class or a classification is a class. Students group, student is a class. Employees group, employee is a class. Products group, product is a class. Customers group, customer is a class. Schedules group, schedule is a class. Is it got or not? So if anything which has some attributes, then that thing is called as an entity. That entity is represented in the form of a class. Yes, sir. Got it now? I think you are not understanding properly. Last one. Yeah, out of these, one person, can you please come here? One member from these. Yes, sir. Come, can you come here? One member. Okay, fine. Right, sir. Now understand it clear. Come, come, come. What's your name? Krish. Krish only. Complete name? Krish Kalyan. Good, nice, nice name. Pawan Kalyan. Hmm? Fine, sir. Pawan Kalyan, huh? Right, sir. Let's move on to the point here. So the point is what? Inheritance. Inheritance is a point here I'm telling to you. Right, number of examples are available. But before that, examples, first of all, we need to understand what is an entity. Entity is a thing which has some attributes. If anything which has some attributes, then that thing is treated as what? Is an entity. Understand it clearly. Student is an entity. How can you say student is an entity? No, it has some attributes. What are the various attributes? No, student ID, student name, student qualification, student address, student email, student mobile. All these things are like what their attributes. So the student is what their an entity. Next one, after this, apart from this, listen carefully. A product is an entity. How can you say product is an entity? No, product has its own attributes. Product ID, product name, product cost, product expiry date, product manufacturing date. All these things are like what their product attributes. So product is an entity. Yes, sir, got or not? Similarly, account is an entity. How can you say account is an entity? No, account number, account holder name, account type, account balance. All the things are like what their account as an entity. Like this, we are going to declare entities. Each and every entity is represented in the form of a class. Each and every entity is represented in the form of a class. Understand, guys, what I'm telling you? Each and every entity is represented in the form of a class. That's the point here. Okay, fine. So if I ask a question to you, tell me what is a class now? Immediately we have to give answer is what there. Class is an entity which has some attributes. Class is representing an entity which has some attribute. That's it. That's the meaning of the class now. After that, let's understand the next point here. In object orientation, we are able to define relationships between the classes. We are able to have some relationships between the entities. Understand it clearly. We are able to have relationships between the entities. How the relationships are available here between the entities? No, one example we are going to see. Observe carefully. Account, savings account. There should be a relation between account and savings account or not? Okay, I'm telling there are two types of accounts. Account is there are two types. One is savings account, another one is what their current account. Savings account and current account both are childs for a parent account. Your account is what? Parent. Childs are what? Savings account and a current account. Sir, all of you get my point or not? Parent is what their account. Their childs are what their savings account and a current account. One more example, understand it clearly. Person is a parent. Person is a parent. For this person, number of childs are available. Student is a person. Teacher is a person. Employee is a person. Customer is a person. All these are what their childs for this particular person. So here, parent-child relationship is available or not between the entities now. That parent-child relationship is represented in Java or in object orientation by using inheritance relationship. What inheritance is representing? No, inheritance is representing a parent-child relationship between the entity classes. Sir, got it or not? For example, employee is an entity, but manager is one employee. Accountant is another employee. Engineer is an employee. Yes, sir. Am I right or not? So all these are childs for what their employee. Employee is a parent and all these are childs. The relation between this employee and these childs is what their parent-child relation. That is represented in Java by using what concept here? Inheritance concept. Okay, fine. But what is the advantage of this? What is the purpose of this relationship? What is the purpose of giving a relationship? What is the purpose of making relationship between two classes, parent and child? No. One simple example I'm telling you. Know. For example, you are the person. Your parents are available. Of course, your parents are sound party. Good, very good money your parents are having. 100 crores of money is there with your parents. 100 acres of land is there with your parents. Maybe how much time your parents are going to be active, in general? Maybe up to 70 years or maybe 80 years. Whenever they are at a somewhat old age, they're unable to move in outside, they're unable to concentrate on all their businesses, they're not active. But all the things must be happen or not? Even though your parents are not active, but that businesses must be run or not? That activities must run as usual or not? But who is going to monitor these businesses? No. When parent is not active, who has to take that responsibility? Definitely child must take that responsibility or not? Why child is taking that responsibility? Why not other person there? Why only the child is taking responsibility? Why? Because there is a relation between parent and child. Observe carefully. Initially, all these properties are associated with the parent. When childs are coming, automatically these responsibilities are inherited from parent to child here now. Yes, sir, got or not? Okay, what child is doing now? Parent has some properties there. Parent has given that properties to the child. What child is doing now? Child is reusing that properties or not? Your father has given 1 crore rupees to you. What you are doing? You want to keep that 1 crore in our almara and we want to pray for God now? Tell me, what you are doing there? You are going to consume it. We are going to make it is 2 crores. We are going to make it is 2 crores. That means we have to reuse it or not? So here the main point is what? The main advantage of inheritance is reusability. The main advantage of inheritance is what? Reusability. Yes, sir. All of you get my point or not? So now tell me, what is inheritance? That's the question. Inheritance is a relation between classes. It will provide properties and behaviors from one class to another class in order to improve reusability. That's it. That's a complete definition of inheritance. For giving this definition only, I had this much of information. Come again. I want to get satisfaction. Come again. What is the meaning of inheritance? No. Inheritance is a relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods of from one class to another class in order to improve reusability, code reusability. The class which is providing properties and behaviors to some other class. The class which is providing properties and behaviors to some other class. This class is called as what? A parent class. In Java, official terminology is a super class. The class which is providing variables and methods to some other class is called as what there? A super class. The class which is getting variables and methods from some other parent class is called as what there? Subclass or a child class. Please remember this. Parent class, child class are our in general terminologies. They are not the terminologies in Java. For representing parent class and child class, Java has a clear-cut definitions, clear-cut terminology. That terminology is superclass, subclass. That's it. Don't use base class and derived class also. Don't say parent class and child class also. That is for our understanding purpose and for our easiness. We are using the terminology parent and child. But really, it's not like parent and child. It's like what their superclass and a subclass. That's it. Now I want to give definition for this inheritance. All of you understand it clearly. It is a relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods. Properties and behaviors in Java is what? Variables and methods only. It will provide variables and methods from one class. So one class to another class. One class to another class in order to improve code reusability. In order to improve code reusability. That's it. Right, sir. All of you understand it now? I'm going to give some points here. All right, sir. From one class to another class. In the above inheritance relation, the class which is providing variables and methods is called a superclass. All right, sir. In the above inheritance, the class which is getting variables and methods, from a class is called is called subclass. The class which is getting variables and methods is called as what their subclass. Right, so now these are the meaning of superclass and subclass here. That's okay, fine. All right, sir. Now here I want to give one more point here. The main advantage of inheritance is code reusability. That's a point here we have to understand. The main advantage of inheritance is what their code reusability. Okay, leave this one. Up to now we understood what is inheritance and what is the advantage of this inheritance, what is superclass and what is subclass now. One more point I'm telling you. In Java, inheritance is represented in the form of 1 minute, sir. Right, sir. In Java, inheritance is represented in the form of a predefined keyword. That predefined keyword is like what their extends keyword. Yes, sir. By using what keyword here we are able to achieve this inheritance. No, extends a keyword in Java. Directly I'm talking in the case of Java that we have to remember. That's okay, fine. Next one is how many types of inheritances are available? If you observe the types of inheritances, understand it clearly. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. Initially, there are two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances? No. First one is what? Single inheritance. And second one is what? There multiple inheritance. I think all of you are aware about it, right? Multiple inheritance. Single inheritance and second one is what? There multiple inheritance. Right, sir. Now understand this clearly. On the basis of the above two types of inheritances, there are three more inheritances. On the basis of the above two inheritances, three more inheritances are defined. What are the three more inheritances which are defined? You know, first one is like what there multi-level inheritance. That is another one. Next one is like what there hierarchical inheritance. That's another one. The last one is like what there hybrid inheritance. Right, so these are overall five types of inheritances clearly. Good. Of course, out of these five types, no, multiple, hybrid, both are not possible in Java. Multiple inheritance and hybrid inheritance, both are not possible in Java. But here our responsibility is what? Why they are not possible in Java, that we have to understand. Especially why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java, that we have to understand. But if you want to understand what is this multiple inheritance, no, first you have to understand single inheritance. Now let's understand this clearly. Single inheritance. Uh, Tell me guys, all of you know, tell me what is inheritance? Inheritance is a relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve reusability. Here the class which is providing variables and methods is called superclass. Here the class which is getting variables and methods is called subclass. Got it or not? Now here, what is this single inheritance now? It is a relation between entity classes. Good. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Here we don't have any restriction on number of subclasses. We have restrictions on number of superclasses only. Here we are going to get variables and methods from only one superclass. It's a condition from only one superclass. Then it is called as what there single inheritance. Is it all of you are getting it or not? Then it is called as what there single inheritance. Right, sir. Then after this, after completion of this. Now diagrammatic representation I want to provide now. So here I want to provide Java does support single inheritance. Java does support what there single inheritance. Alright, sir. Java is supporting single inheritance. Leave this one. Does support single inheritance. That's okay, fine. Alright, I'll give one diagrammatic representation. Now try to understand it clearly. And have I taken this diagram? Yeah, it's okay, nice. Now come for this. I want to go with what there single inheritance, just representation, diagrammatic representation I want to provide. Try to recognize this. Say I'm going to take only one superclass. Here only one subclass here I'm going to take. Observe carefully. Now here inheritance is represented in the form of upwards arrow. This upwards arrow header part is always representing superclass. Tyler part is always representing subclass. Class A. This is like what there? Class B. Here what we are having there now? Extends. Extends is a keyword which represents inheritance in Java. Now inside this class A, int I is equal to 10 void m1 method. Here we have written. No need to think much about this variable and method, no. But understand it. Something I declared in superclass, no. That I can reuse in the subclass. Directly here I can provide I is equal to I plus 10. Directly I can write it. Directly I can call m1 method. But method and variable are defined at which class there? Superclass. But we can access them inside the subclass or not? Directly we can access them inside what their subclass here. Understand it? Now this is now tell me how many superclasses here we have taken? Only one superclass. From only one superclass, we are getting variables and methods or not? Now this is called as what there? Single inheritance. Right. This is the meaning of single inheritance. Now observe carefully. After understanding this, now get multiple inheritance. What's the meaning of it now? Multiple inheritance. Right, sir. Now tell me the relationship is, that means the point is very much clear. Now try to give answer for it now. It is a relation between entity classes. Am I right or not? It is a relation between entity classes. Next one is, it will provide variables, it will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. One or more subclasses. Right, sir? One or more subclasses. Right or not? All right, sir. Now this is like what there? Multiple inheritance. Now what is a diagrammatic representation? Now try to observe carefully, all of you know. Say for example, this I want to take as a superclass. And this I want to take another superclass. Two superclasses here we have taken. Now for both the superclasses, this is my single subclass. Now here more than one superclass is existed. From more than one superclass, you are trying to get variables and methods. More than one superclass, here we are trying to get variables and methods. Now here, this is like what I am telling there, class A, and this is like what there, class B, and this is like what there, class C. Here, the relationship is like what there, extends a relation. Of course, I'm telling that it is not possible, but first of all, what is it? We have to understand. Later on, we will think how it is not possible and why it is not possible. All right, sir. Observe carefully. Now, here I want to declare a variable int I is equal to 10 now. Void m1 method. I prepared now some implementation clearly. This is class A. Now, here in class B, what we are providing there? Here we are providing int j is equal to 20. For example, int j is equal to 20. Here we are providing m2 method. And j is equal to 20. Here we are providing what method here? M2 method. Yes, sir, got it or not? Now, all of you observe carefully. All of you observe carefully. Now, I'm telling that. Now, tell me, class C is a child class for both the parent class or not? Class A and class B. Class C is a child for both the parents or not? It means that class C has the right to access members of both A and B. Class C is able to access both the members of class A and B. Am I right or not? So now I is equal to I plus 10 semicolon. J is equal to J plus 10 semicolon. We can access like this. M1 method here we can call. Now here we can call what methods now? M2 method. Why? Because class C is a child for both A and B. Class C is a subclass to the superclasses A and B. That's up to this also here we are not getting any problem. This is the meaning of multiple inheritance I given there. Clear? Understand it clearly. So the conclusion here, what I am telling now, Java does not support multiple inheritance. But here the question is what? Why Java does not support multiple inheritance? That's the question here. But what is multiple inheritance? I given in the diagram now. But immediately I'm saying the conclusion. What is the conclusion here? Java doesn't support multiple inheritance. Okay. Now I want to give some clarity. I want to give some reason why Java is not supporting multiple inheritance. Observe all of you know. All of you understand this point clearly. Say this now. Okay, as it is the representation I want to provide, but this time somewhat confusion we are able to get. What is that confusion? I want to give clarity. First of all, understand it now. For example, here I accessed I is equal to I plus 10. I variable must be checked in both the superclasses. In a superclass here, it's available. That value will come. When I access J variable value will be checked in both the superclasses. Where in class B, J variable is available, then that we are using. When we call M1 method will be checked in both the superclasses. In superclass A, we got M1 method. We are able to use it. When we call M2 method is available in class B superclass, so we can use it. After that, it's okay, fine. But understand it now, what I am telling to you. Here, for example, superclass A, put more concentration. This is the reason I'm telling to you why multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. That reason I'm giving there. Now try to understand it now. Now get, I want to take classes clearly now. This is like what their class A superclass again. Now this is like what their class B superclass. Can I have taken? Observe carefully. Now this is like what their class C that we have taken. Class A, class B, and class C. Now here, what I am giving clarity now. This is A superclass. This is like what their B superclass. For both of them, C is a child class. Now here we are getting like what their extents. All right, sir. Now all of you understand it. The next point now. Int I is equal to 10. Void M1 method. Inside this M1 method, some X implementation is available. The code is some X code is available inside this M1 method. Clear? All right, sir. Next one is in class B. In class B. In a previous example, I have taken into J is equal to 20. M2 method. But in this example, I'm going to take int I is equal to 20. Same variable. In a superclass here, what I declared same variable but with different value. Now, void M1 method, same method but with a different implementation. So here the point I'm telling there. This is a case, a specific case I'm taking now. Two superclass I have declared. But in both the superclasses, same variable with a different value, same method with a different implementations I've taken. Clear? Now, in class C, I is equal to I plus 10 have used M1 method I called. I is equal to I plus 10. Observe carefully. When we provide I is equal to I plus 10, now here I value must be required or not? Tell me, sir, I value must be required or not? From which superclass we are going to get I value? Unfortunately, I variable is defined in both the superclasses. I value is defined in both the superclasses. From which superclass this I value is coming? That's my question. First of all, JVM will search for I variable in the current class, C class. If I variable is not available in C class, no, JVM will search for them in the superclasses. If it is available in only one superclass, no confusion, we can get it directly. But unfortunately, I variable is defined with multiple values, different values in both the superclasses. Now my question is, from which superclass that I variable value is coming? If you think that I variable value is coming from class A superclass, where I is equal to I plus 10, that is I is equal to 10 plus 10, 20. Is it 20? If you think I value is coming from class B superclass, in class B superclass I value is 20, I is equal to I plus 10, I is equal to 20 plus 10, is it 30? And directly I'm asking there, from which superclass I variable value is coming to the child class C? Is it from superclass A or is it from superclass B? That's a question now. When we access this M1 method was not defined in class C. Definitely class C must get that M1 method from either of the superclass. Unfortunately, M1 method was defined in both the superclasses. M1 method was defined in both the superclasses. But from which superclass that M1 method is coming? From which superclass that M1 method is coming? That's a question here. If you think M1 method is coming from class A superclass where X implementation is going on, is it X implementation? If you think M1 method is coming from class B superclass where Y implementation is available for M1 method, is it Y implementation in class C? Here we have to decide from which superclass that I variable, from which superclass that M1 method is coming to the child class C. As we are having same I variable and M1 method with the different values and different implementations in both the superclasses. Is it, all of you are getting my question clearly? From which superclass we have to get I value and M1 method implementation in class C. That's the question now. Then what is the answer for this question now? What is the answer for this question now? Answer for this question is we can't decide in the case of Java. Java is not giving any priority for first superclass and any priority for second superclass. It doesn't have any priorities for the superclasses. Both the superclasses are at the same level in the case of Java. So it is a confusion state for the JVM and for compiler and even for the developers. From which superclass the type variable is coming, from which superclass that M1 method is coming, it is a confusion totally. It's totally like what there? It's a confusion. So Java is unable to decide from which superclass that I variable and M1 method is coming. It's totally a confusion state. It's totally what state? No, confusion state. In other words, you can say that ambiguity state, ambiguous state. But you know already Java is a simple programming language. Java is a simple programming language. It's completely against to the confusion oriented features. All syntaxes and all features of Java are very much straight and are they very bold and straightforward. No confusions are available for the Java syntaxes, no. But here, this multiple inheritance, this case of this multiple inheritance is giving confusion to the developers, confusion to the compiler, confusion to the JVM. So because of that reason, to avoid this confusion, simply straightly Java has avoided. Java has like Java does not allow this multiple inheritance feature part of its programming. Java doesn't allow this multiple inheritance feature as part of its programming. Sir, are you getting it or not? Java does not allow this multiple inheritance feature part of its programming. Why? Because of its confusion state. Tell me any example for confusion state now. This is an example for confusion state. When we declare same variable with different values in two superclasses, when we declare same method with different implementation in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and that method in the respective subclass, then from which superclass that variable value and that method implementation is coming is a confusion state. But Java is a simple programming language which does not allow the confusion oriented features. Due to this reason, Java has disabled, Java has not allowed that confusion oriented feature multiple inheritance as part of its applications. But inheritance is allowed in Java. Single inheritance is allowed in Java. Multi-level inheritance is allowed in Java. Hierarchical inheritance is allowed in Java, but multiple inheritance is not allowed in Java. And by using this multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance is available. On the basis of the multiple inheritance, hybrid inheritance is available. That is also be not allowed in Java. Hybrid inheritance and multiple inheritance both are not allowed in Java. Why? Because of their confusion state, because of their confusion oriented features. Yes, sir. All of you are getting clarity or not? All right, sir. Now here I'm giving the clarity. Now this is a diagram here I'm taking there. Now here I want to provide this diagram also. But here before that I want to give clarity why this multiple inheritance is not available in Java. Good. Understand my point here? In the multiple inheritance, in the multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with the different values, comma, if we declare the same method with the different implementations in the more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclass, then in the respective subclasses, then it will be a confusion straight for the compiler and JVM, that from which superclass the declared variables and methods are coming to the respective subclass. Sir, is my context is clear to all of you know? All right, sir. In the multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with the different values, if we declare the same method with the different implementations in the more than one superclass, and if we access that variable and method in the respective subclasses, then it will be a confusion state for the compiler JVM, that from which superclass, confusion state that from which superclasses the declared variables and methods are coming to the respective subclasses. Got my point or not? The next point is what there. Java is a simple programming language. All right, Java is a simple programming language. It must not allow the confusion oriented features like what their multiple inheritance. Previously we understood like what their pointers. Of course, Java must not allow the confusion oriented features like pointers, comma, multiple inheritance, and so on. Some other features in the future. All right, sir. Okay, up to this is okay. But I have one more question. What is my question here? How Java is able to restrict multiple inheritance programmatically? How Java restricting multiple inheritance through programmatic way? In a programmatic way. Right, I'll give the point here. To avoid multiple inheritance in Java applications, Java has defined extends keyword. What keywords are extends keyword? Java has defined extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. Got my point here? How extends keyword was defined in Java to avoid multiple inheritance in Java applications. Java has defined extends keyword. Java has defined the extends keyword in such a way that to allow only one superclass name, not to allow more than one superclass name. Example I am telling to you, observe carefully. Class A extends B curly braces as it's valid. Clear? As it's valid. Next example I'm telling to you, observe carefully. Class A extends B comma C. If you provide this, then it is invalid. Extends keyword is able to allow one superclass name. But if you put comma, that's sufficient to give an error message. What is the intention of putting comma there? To provide next superclass. If you put comma after one superclass, no, then immediately extends keyword will raise an error. Extends keyword will raise an error. Multiple superclasses are not allowed for class A. Like this here, we are able to get some error. That's why it is what there invalid case here. We have to understand. Right. Now that's it. Now this is the story about like what there multiple inheritance. All of you are following the points, no? Damn sure. Interviewers will ask all these questions, no? That's why I'm repeating all the points. Understand it clearly now. All right, sir. First of all, very straightforward question. Multiple inheritance is possible or not possible in Java? What is your answer now? Not possible in Java. How it is not possible? Okay. What is the problem with multiple inheritance in Java? Then if it is a question, then we have to start our explanation right from the definitions of the inheritance. Okay. Now whatever the content here I've given today, the total information is like what there. First of all, I started my concept right from object-oriented programming languages onwards. What is an object-oriented programming language? Now tell me, if any programming language represents data in the form of objects by following object-oriented features, then the programming language is what? An object-oriented programming language. How many number of object-oriented features are available? 7. What are these features now? Class, object, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, message passing. Out of the 7, 4 are the most important. What are the most important object-oriented features? No, encapsulation, abstraction, inheritance, and a polymorphism. What is inheritance here? It's the relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods from one class to another class in order to improve code reusability. In the above inheritance, what is superclass? The class which is providing variables and methods is called what? Superclass. What is subclass? The class which is getting variables and methods is what there? A subclass. Now here, what is the main advantage of inheritance now? Code reusability. In Java, how inheritance is represented? Through extrinsic keyword. By using what keyword now? Extrinsic keyword. Initially, how many types of inheritances are available? Two types of inheritances. What are the two types of inheritances now? Single inheritance and multiple inheritance. On the basis of these two types of inheritances, three more are defined. What are the three more inheritances now? Multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. What is single inheritance? It's a relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods from only one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does support or does not support single inheritance? Does support single inheritance. What is multiple inheritance? It's a relation between entity classes. It's a relation between entity classes. It will provide variables and methods from more than one superclass to one or more number of subclasses. Java does support or does not support multiple inheritance? Does not support. Why Java does not support multiple inheritance? If you in multiple inheritance, if we declare the same variable with multiple values, same method with the different implementations in both the superclasses, and if we access that variable and that method in the respective subclass, then from which superclass that variable and method is coming is a confusion state. But Java is a simple programming language. It should not allow the confusion oriented features. That's why Java does not allow multiple inheritance as part of its programming. But how Java restricted this multiple inheritance in Java? By defining extends keyword to allow only one superclass name, not to allow multiple superclasses names. By defining that extends keyword, that multiple inheritance was totally restricted inside the Java. Right, so then examples also were given there. Class A extends B valid, class A extends B comma C invalid. Then correspondingly, I've given some diagram also. Here we can understand clearly. Now this is confusion state. This is okay, valid, but still it is not allowed in Java. Why? Because multiple inheritance is not available in Java. Next one is what there. Now this is about what there, single inheritance. Is that clear or not? That's also. Now this is about somewhat story about this inheritances. No. Once if we complete these inheritances, all 5 things are completed. The next one, sixth difference between Java and other is what there. Distractors are required in C++, but distractors are not required in Java. Distractors are not required in Java. Right, so now this is the sixth difference here we have to understand. Okay, so shall we discuss this topic on tomorrow? Can I discuss this topic on tomorrow? Tomorrow is a Saturday, right? Don't think about it. Tomorrow no class. No. Tomorrow there is a class. In the starting mode, Monday to Saturday class are available, but Sunday is a gap. But Sunday, even this Sunday, you are not having any gap. I'm not going to take the class. I given already some schedule. Can you please repeat what is the schedule? Sunday evening 5 o'clock DevOps awareness class. That batch is exclusively for the sake of you. We are very at startup mode, right? So we are going to understand what is DevOps, how it is useful in our applications now. So because of that reason, without failure, everybody has to attend for it. And moreover, there is a surprise on Sunday evening 5 o'clock. Really, I'm telling you, there is a surprise. If you come there, then it's okay. You will see what is that surprise. Okay, that is one thing. And one more point I'm telling to you. Today at 4 p.m. I'm starting one advanced Java batch. Actual point is that advanced Java batch is not for the sake of your batch. Why? Because you don't know anything about Java. Your kids in Java. Even I'm unable to put much burden to you. So for the sake of your batch, again, I will start advanced Java. Whenever we are at an actual point in core Java, when you complete the required concepts in core Java, then we'll plan for advanced Java at second slot. I will give that information to you in the future, not immediately. But that advanced Java batch is not for the sake of you. For the sake of other batches, I'm going to start that advanced Java. But still, so today I'm free at 4 o'clock. I want to come and I want to sit the demo class in the sense. Okay, always welcome up to demo class. We can come and sit and see the demo classes. Or else, sir, already I have knowledge on core Java. Just I'm repeating the core Java content. Already I know that core Java. So that I want to come for this advanced Java classes that today. It's okay. Welcome. If you know already core Java, then you can come for the advanced Java. But otherwise, not at all recommended, not at all suggestible at this level for advanced Java. Your knowledge is not at all sufficient. Still, even by violating my statements, still if you come for advanced Java, if you attend this advanced Java, I'm sure about it, you may get irritation on Java. Once you are irritating on Java there, you may leave from Hyderabad with a black mind. Think of it. So don't take that kind of step. No, I will give clear-cut information when to start which course and which course you have to take at what time. I will give that roadmap clearly. As per my session, just try to follow. Automatically, you are going to finish your courses a bit earlier. Okay, that's all, guys. That's all for it. And tomorrow we have session. Tomorrow we'll talk about what there this particular content. Thank you. Thanks a lot. We'll see the point and tomorrow. Yeah, and how multiple inheritance is supported in Python. I will explain, sir. No problem. Maybe and tomorrow I will explain to you. Don't worry. Where Babu Chinta. I will explain to you. Okay. I'll explain. Where Babu. I will explain that. Don't worry about this. How multiple inheritance is possible in the case of Python at least. Not in C++. It's somewhat older, but in Python I will explain to you. Don't worry for it. Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. పర్లేదు పర్లేదు అదేం పెద్ద ఇష్యూనే కాదు మళ్ళీ ఇంకోసారి వస్తుంది తర్వాత చూసుకోవచ్చు ఫైన్ జేవీ ఆర్కిటెక్చర్ సపరేట్ టాపిక్ ఉంది కదా వస్తుంది మనకి ఇప్పుడే కాదు ఇంకా టైం పడుతుంది అది ఊప్స్ లో వస్తాయి మనకి అన్ని ఊప్స్ లో మళ్ళీ ఇంకొస్తాయి ఇది నాకు పాయింట్ ఏంటంటే మల్టిపుల్ ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ లేదు జావాలో ఎందుకు లేదని చెప్పడం పాయింట్ అందుకని వాట్ ఈస్ మల్టిపుల్ అనేది చెప్పా దీని మళ్ళీ వీటన్నిటికి ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ టైప్స్ అన్ని కూడా మనకి ఊప్స్ స్టార్ట్ అయింది కదా ఊప్స్ లో వస్తాయి మొత్తం తరువుగా వస్తాయి మొత్తం కంప్లీట్ వాటి ప్రోగ్రామింగ్ అంతా వచ్చేస్తుంది Monday to Saturday, but once if I start whoops, I will take more class on weekends. రేపు ఈ సండే ఒకటి 5 o'clock రెగ్యులర్ సండే రెగ్యులర్ టైం యువర్ యాక్చువల్ టైమింగ్ ఉంటుంది ఉంటుంది రేపు 10 థ్యాంక్ యూ మర్చిపోయాను అది చెప్పాలి ఒకసారికి వేర్ రికార్డింగ్ సెషన్స్ ఆర్ అవైలబుల్ గంచి Nirakshan Kumar, 1 minute. Nirakshan Kumar, just please one time. Yeah, Nirakshan Kumar, just one time. Take this number. Okay, take this number and try to send your transaction receipt to this number. Then our admin people will give that access to you. They will verify and they will give that access to you. Okay. Or else just one call to this number and our admin people will take care about it. Okay. Thank you. So okay guys, then shall we meet on tomorrow? Shall I meet tomorrow? All right, guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks a lot. We'll meet on tomorrow. 31st July demo. That's not my batch, guys. Then some other batch. What is the use of Java for middleware administrator? No, middleware administrator. So basic awareness is required if you want to go for deployments, or if you want to go for like what are some monitoring tools. If you want to know that, if you want to check for that, awareness is required in Java. I should. Demos are already completed, sir. Then these are actual concepts only. Yeah. Then maybe by Monday. Demos are by Monday link is going to be changed. A new link will come there. Meanwhile, try to register for the course. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, guys, maybe tomorrow is the last date for it. No, then Monday onward the link is going to be changed. Then those who are not yet registered for the course, please immediately register for it. Okay. Yeah, almost all 1 week of time we are waited for it. It's okay. Then maximum tomorrow is the last class for this demo. Not demo actually. Content was started already, but link is going to be changed from Monday onwards. Okay. Yeah. And that Sunday workshop information, I'll give that information to you on tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow I will give that workshop link information there, where in which link we have to attend for the workshop on Sunday there. Where? Ekkada? Ekkada? I will give that on tomorrow. Just rewind to me, and tomorrow I will give that link details to you so that you can attend even in online. Okay, that DevOps workshop link. Okay. Yeah. Thank you guys. Thanks a lot. I'll meet on tomorrow. Huh?